All right, so if you've ever wrestled with an AI trying to get it to do something, you know, actually complex, you've probably hit that wall. That moment you realize one single perfect prompt just isn't going to cut it. Well, today we're going to move way beyond that. We're going to talk about how to build real, powerful AI systems by stringing together a bunch of simple steps. So, yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, let's just get this out of the way right up front. The big question, can a single AI prompt, like one monster prompt, build a whole application? I mean, a real one. And look, the short answer, it's a big no. Not really. And the reason why is actually pretty intuitive. Because trying to cram everything into one prompt, it's like asking one single person to run an entire factory. Just imagine that for a second. This one poor soul has to find the raw materials, run every single machine on the line, do all the quality checks, and then box up the final product. It would be a disaster, right? It's super inefficient, it's going to be full of mistakes, and you could never scale it up.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the limits of that one prompt idea. Then we'll talk about assembling your AI pipeline, the basic parts. After that, we'll look at some key workflow blueprints you can use. And finally, we'll get into how to build production-grade systems that don't fall over. All right, first up, the limits of one prompt. Let's really dig into why we need to think a little bigger than that. Okay, so this is where that single prompt idea really starts to crack. I mean, think about it. What if you need to do multiple things in a specific order? Or what if you need to use different models? Maybe one that's great at logic and another that's super creative. You can't just mash those together. And what about using external tools, like an API, or getting a human to approve something? A single prompt just wasn't built for that. And good luck trying to debug one of those giant things. It's basically impossible. This is why we need to think in terms of a system. Okay, so if we're going to build that AI assembly line, we need to know what the parts are, right? So let's talk about the fundamental building blocks. So the first piece of the puzzle is the step. A step is just one little unit of work. Think of it as a single workstation on our assembly line. It could be one call to an LLM, maybe a query to a database, or even hitting an external API. It does one thing, and hopefully it does it really well. Next, we've got the chain, and this is super intuitive. If the steps are workstations, the chain is the conveyor belt that connects them all. It's what dictates the order of things, making sure what comes out of workstation A is exactly what's needed for workstation B. It's the whole workflow. And the third piece is state. So what's moving along that conveyor belt? That's the state. It's the actual thing we're building. It might start as a simple user question, but as it goes from step to step, it picks up more information. Data from a database, a summary from an LLM. It's the object that's being worked on. All right, so we've got our parts, steps, chains, and state. Now for the fun part. Let's look at a few common blueprints, a few popular designs for how you can actually assemble these things.
So blueprint number one is the simplest of all, the sequential chain. This is exactly what it sounds like. It's your classic A to B to C assembly line. No surprises. You might say, figure out what the user wants, then pull out the important keywords, go look something up in a database, and then finally put together an answer. It's super predictable, it's reliable, and honestly, it's perfect for a ton of common tasks.
Okay, but what if not every task is the same? That's where a branching workflow comes in, and this is really cool. You basically put a router, another LLM, at the very beginning. Its only job is to look at the incoming request and decide which path it should go down. Is it a simple question? Send it to the FAQ line. Is it a creative writing task? Send it to the creative line. This is so much more efficient because you're not wasting your most powerful tools on simple jobs. Now this next one, the tool-augmented workflow, this is where your AI system gets actual superpowers. This is how you connect it to the real world. So the idea is the LLM can recognize when it doesn't know something. And instead of just giving up, it can call an external tool. It can be a search engine, a weather API, anything. It grabs that real-time info and then uses it to formulate a way better answer. This is a total game changer. So having a great blueprint is awesome, but how do you make sure it actually works in the real world without breaking all the time? That's what this next part is about. We're going to shift from just the design to making it a reliable production-grade system. Look, in the real world, stuff is going to break. Your LLM will time out, an API will fail. You have to plan for it. So what's the playbook? Well, if an LLM call fails, you don't just give up. You retry it, maybe after a short delay. If an external tool is down, can you use a backup or some saved data? And if the AI spits out gibberish, you need a step that validates the output and can trigger a redo. The big idea here is that building for failure is what makes your system strong, not pessimistic. Okay, I want to make a really quick but super important distinction here between chains and agents. What we've been talking about, chains, are like a fixed recipe. The steps are predetermined, A, then B, then C. It's reliable, it's repeatable, perfect for production. An agent, well, that's different. That's like giving a master chef a bunch of tools and ingredients and letting them decide the next step. It's incredibly powerful and flexible, but it's also way harder to control and predict. For most production systems, you want the recipe, not the improvisation. All right, so let's pull this all together with a quick checklist. First, break down your big problems into tiny, manageable steps. Second, always use structured outputs like JSON so your steps can talk to each other reliably. Third, and this is huge, log everything, inputs, outputs, especially failures. You'll thank yourself later. And of course, build in those guardrails and design for failure. If you follow these, you're on your way to building something that actually works. And really, if you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. Don't ask one LLM call to be a genius. It's just not how they work best. Instead, build a system of simple, cooperating steps. That's where the real magic, the real power comes from. So now you've got the toolkit, right? You can think in terms of steps, chains, and state. You have the mental framework to go from just writing prompts to actually engineering powerful AI applications. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build first?